Hi, middle schoolers. This is Helen McConnell, your EFT tapping expert. I've been invited by Andersen Construction Company and ASI Structures to create this series of tapping videos to help you and your family get through these interesting, challenging, difficult times. Do you feel hopeless some or much of the time? Would you like to get some relief? Stay with me. We're going to use tapping to learn to relieve hopelessness, at least some of it. Please note, if this hopelessness is severe and you get no relief, please tell a trusted adult and get professional help. So, what is this weird tapping thing? In each of the videos, I describe it briefly. EFT tapping is a technique that restores balance to the body's energy system. Based on Chinese acupuncture, but we don't use any needles. We use our fingertips and we tap on the meridian points instead of putting needles in. Tapping is self-administered. You do it yourself. It's really simple. It's really easy. I teach it to little kids. I teach it to prisoners in the penitentiary. I teach it to firefighters. I teach it to first responders, students, parents, doctors, nurses, all kinds of people use it because we get emotional relief. The biggest thing it's well known for is stress relief, but stress is the basis of many negative emotions. If you want to watch a video on how to use tapping, there's one in this series. It's listed in the description of this video, but you can just tap along and learn the basics just by following me. Let's do some tapping together now. Notice what your hopelessness feels like. When you think about hopelessness, and I'll kind of help you a little bit. I want you to use your own words and your own description. Most people describe hopelessness as kind of a heavy feeling or unmotivated, uninspired, whatever it is, just notice it. Okay. And tapping's going to help. But I also want to invite you to consider, are you taking good care of yourself? Are you drinking enough water? Are you eating well? Are you getting some fresh air every day, getting some exercise? Because the human body needs that just as much as it needs to be soothed, its nervous system. You can't, it would be like saying, I'm going to drive my car and I'm not going to put any oil in it and I'm not going to put any gas in it and I'm going to expect it to still drive at its optimal best. It just doesn't work. And you don't work that way either. So you've got to keep yourself fueled up properly, good quality. And you need to get fresh air and movement. The body needs that. And that's true for any of these emotions that we are tapping on in these videos. You need to take care of your physical body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, your mental body. All of the parts of you need good caring for. You can't expect things to run optimally if you're not taking care of yourself. Hopelessness can occur when we're busy looking at all the bad news. We're looking at all the negative stuff. And we're thinking that the past is always doomed to repeat itself. And that's not always true. That's not true at all. The past is never, yes, sometimes history repeats itself, but it's never exactly the same. So I want you to start looking for the upside of things. And yes, that does require that you change your attitude a little bit. But I'm not asking you to be Pollyanna-ish. I'm inviting you to ask yourself, do I want to feel better? And if you want to feel better and it's not working the way you're doing it, then you have to do something different. And the best thing to do is to change your thinking. If you want to change anything, you've got to change your thinking. If you're feeling hopeless and you're in middle school or high school, start creating your future now. Don't wait for someone else to do it because they're not going to do it for you. I want you to take charge of your reality. And that means while you're maybe distance learning and you're at home, find some things that you're passionate about and start working towards those things just a little bit at a time so you feel like you're living your purpose. You're not too young and it can make a difference. And the most important thing is that it makes a difference for you, but it will make a difference for everyone. And if everyone around you is being negative, it can be really difficult to try to be positive, but you can do it. You got to kind of not engage when everybody else is going, but blah, no, 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 and you're wanting to be a little more upbeat. You got to get it in here. I do know it's difficult. Do your best and spend some time on your own. I do recommend, again, you're not too young. Start meditating. 20 minutes once a day. Silent meditation is best. Guided meditation is okay, but it's just 20 minutes. As soon as you get up in the morning, just do 20 minutes of silent meditation. There are many different ways to do it. It doesn't have to be difficult. Just quiet your mind. And if you can do it twice a day, that's ideal. It will begin to change things. It begins to soothe your system. And then you do tapping on top of that. And you're going to have a lot of tools that most people don't have. And that's going to give you a real boost. Not that you have to be better than other people, but it will help you feel more hopeful. If you've been feeling hopeless for a while, I'm going to be honest with you. It's difficult, if not impossible, to go from hopeless to hopeful in 2 minutes. You got to get there slowly but surely. Okay, so you got to practice. And if you feel a little more hopeful for 20 seconds, then know that it's possible and that you can feel a little more hopeful for 20 more seconds at another time. And each day, hopefully you'll feel a little more hopeful for a little longer period of time until you suddenly start seeing things to be hopeful about. Don't watch the news. You don't need to watch the news. Find something that you're passionate about and look for hopeful things in that area. There are wonderful things going on all around the planet every day. Look for those things. I challenge you. On a scale of 0 to 10, how hopeless do you feel currently? Rate your hopelessness. 0 to 10, 10 being just so hopeless. I just feel nothing to feel hopeful about. I'm not encouraging that. Just notice it and be honest. And again, if this is severe and chronic, please talk to a trusted adult and get some professional help. But you can try this. This will not hurt you, and it may help you. And then ask yourself, would you like to feel better? Now, if you've been laying around feeling hopeless and not doing anything, it may take some effort to sit up. I want you to sit up and ask yourself, would I like to feel a little better? And listen to the answer. If you don't want to feel better, ask yourself, why not? It is our natural state to want to feel better, to be in good health and optimal vitality. That's our natural state. So if you're feeling hopeless and not wanting to feel better, something's out of balance. All right, so now we're going to do some tapping. Just tap along with me, use the words I use, and see what happens for you. You're going to tap on the side of your hand and say, even though I feel hopeless, you repeat that, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I can't think of anything to feel hopeful about, I accept my feelings and myself. And I'm willing to begin to look at different things. Even though I feel hopeless, I accept myself for who I am. And I choose to know that I can begin to change my thinking. Okay, now we're going to tap around those meridian points, starting at the top of the head with the tips of your finger, right in the crown of your head. Tap, I feel hopeless. On the eyebrow, I keep thinking hopeless thoughts. Side of the eye, I watch hopeless news. Under the eye, I'm around other hopeless people. Under the nose, it's not my nature to be hopeless. On the chin, but it has become my habit. And then go to the collarbone. I don't want to become one of those positive people. And tap under the arm. See, under the arm. One of those cheerful people. Okay, and we're going to keep tapping around because this is a deep one. They're so out of touch. On the eyebrow, they're so obnoxious. Side of the eye. That's not me. Under the eye. I'm in touch with everything hopeless. Under the nose. And I feel bad. And if I started feeling better on the collarbone, I might be like one of them. Under the arm. Can you see under the arm? I'm not doing it. Okay, we're going to tap around the points one more time, maybe a couple times. I feel hopeless on the eyebrow. And so I don't have to do anything. Side of the eye. People feel sorry for me. Under the eye. They stay away from me. Under the nose. And if I return to my natural state of seeing potential on the chin, people might start treating me differently. On the collarbone, I might start treating them differently. Under the arm. And I'm not doing it. Okay, we're going to go around one more time. Top of the head. Potential on the eyebrow. That's like the antithesis or the opposite of hopeless. Side of the eye. Potential under the eye. Maybe I've been neglecting my potential. Under the nose. Maybe I've been disregarding the potential around me. On the chin. What if I could begin to pay attention to potential? Collarbone. What if I could begin to see things differently? Under the arm. Maybe I could do that. Just take a gentle breath in and out. And think about your hopelessness again. Really sense into it, that feeling of hopelessness, and see if it's still at the same level it was before. Re-rate it now. Write that new number down. And just notice if the number's gone up or down or stayed the same. There's no wrong answer. During that particular tapping, did you notice any thoughts or ideas? If your thoughts or ideas are destructive or harmful, they can and ought to be corrected. This isn't a lecture, it's a fact. You need to correct your thinking. And you can do it. And now I'm going to give you 3 things, simple things you can do to begin to see more potential in yourself and around you. Do something kind for someone else without any thought of reward. Do it anonymously if you can, but do something kind for someone else. Go for a walk in your neighborhood, and when you pass someone on the street, say hello with your mask on. Say hello. Make eye contact. Say hello. You'd be amazed at what a difference this will begin to make. Even if they don't say hello back, say hello. Walk every day. Even if it's raining or cold, dress appropriately and go out for a walk. It changes your perspective. Adults do this all the time. I always recommend my clients to take a brief walk in the middle of the day if they're stuck on something or they're feeling like things aren't going the way they should. Go out and get a new perspective. Okay, and the third thing I want you to do is to change your thinking. If you want to change anything in your life, you've got to change your thinking. Your thinking is very powerful, and it's not just your conscious thoughts, but your unconscious, your subconscious programming and stuff. You want to change those thoughts. And I'm going to teach you the fastest way I know how to do that. And it is, of course, with tapping. If your actions are pretty much the same every day, it means you have habitual thinking. You're thinking the same old things. So when you notice anything habitual, and if it's not in your highest good, then you can just go like this. You can assume you're thinking repetitive thoughts because that's what's causing this repetitive action. So you do this tapping that interrupts your thinking. You just go straight to the top of your head and you go, well, there's some old thinking. And you don't have to know what you're thinking. Just know that it's old. Old, repetitive thinking. Side of the eye. Negative, unconscious thinking. Under the eye. I keep thinking the same old thoughts over and over. Under the nose, expecting different results. On the chin. This thinking must have served me at some point. Collarbone, but it's not serving me now. Under the arm. In fact, it's really starting to limit me. Top of the head. I'm ready to change my thinking. On the eyebrow. I'm choosing to change my thinking now. Side of the eye. I'm choosing new thinking. Under the eye. And I don't need to figure out what that new thinking is. And then you just take a nice deep breath. And notice, by doing that, notice your mind. Has it quieted down at all? Most people report to me that their mind gets pretty quiet after that. For one thing, you've interrupted the thinking, and then you've said, you don't need to figure it out. You don't need to figure it out. You don't need to figure it out. Okay, so try those things over and over. Watch this video as often as you want. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.